Beautiful ladies and gents, today I deem it very important to address all the elements that make up creation, that make up the human body, that make up the changes going on. In order to understand them, we need to dig deep and deeper than ever before, as we know our biology is changing with the biology of the changes within the earth core. And so a lot is happening within the purification processes. So many have been doing loads of healing, but with poor knowledge meaning they cycle and cycle and cycle while never getting out of the cycle of healing. And that is due to a lack of knowledge within the elements and elementals making up the body that can transport psychology, philosophy, mentality, emotionality all at once into a brand new platform, a new structure that rises beyond the biophysics of the matrix that was once created to kill human consciousness, as we are moving back into living light consciousness. That is our origin, that is our pure life force or chi energy, no matter how you want to term it. Chi is the origin, your pure life force, with the first element coming here to the forefront, that is the element air. When the air is polluted within, when the air is polluted in the environment, when the air is polluted toward many dimensional restrictions actually, then how will you ever be able to heal out? Because once you have synthetics in the body, the only thing you need to do, and we all have synthetics, you know, simply by birthing into this dense plane, we have them. So it's a matter of acknowledging at first, then opening up the knowledge back into the first seed of creation, your original seed, and going back into understanding how that came into creation. Once you understand how your particular seed came into creation, you can start to understand how quickly you can transmute, transform, move into the alchemy with all the elements, because that is the new ascension. Without chemistry, nothing will ever happen in your life. And as everything is moving into the decay, the light realms are opening up more and more living light spaces, photonic light opening up within the body. But then the body needs to have the capacity to open that up, and that needs reconstruction. It needs the knowledge, it needs the will, the discipline to reconstruct that and move back into the original seed, because the earth has an original seed. So if you're interested in how to do it, you can go a very long way with little healing and transmute 360 degrees in a short amount of time, because too much blabber is going on into the healing modalities that have nowhere to go, that just repeat themselves like in the matrix. So here I'm talking moving right into the crystallization of the body, because we are all star seeds. What it means is your original seed was or has been created by the divine fire ladder. So the element fire can only come to life with the original element air. And when the air in the body, you know, is completely polluted, or you have a difficult time breathing, like minutes in and minutes out like I do, then there's things to do, and that can go very, very fast, like expanding the lungs like a mile in circumference. That is not too difficult to do. It needs the purification of the present day cellular construction in order to move the atoms, you know, the protonic, the nucleus actually of the atoms into its original particles. So as I said, that it all came down to the Hebrew alphabet. Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, the divine name, has a threefold expressions, which I teach also in my course about just, you know, a very small course. Just toning Hebrew letters reconstructs the entire DNA, RNA system into the higher realms, because it's actually the nucleus of every cell, and every cell has a temple of light, and every temple of light has a specific individual letter code that pertains to the English language. So learning about let's keep it to the fire letters, the element that fires up, purifies, comes through by just toning these letters. What they can do is what, you know, the educational science, there is no wisdom in present science, because they do not start off from the knowledge that everything that is matter originates from light. And once you start off with that, you start to derive that light is consciousness, is color coded, and every color has a consciousness, has a code, has a numerology, has a geometric pattern that open up like spaceships, like vehicles that allow the body to transport itself on to many other planes termed by location. And that is possible when rearranging the elements within the original seed in the DNA and RNA through the purification process. So quite naturally, all the other elements to arrive at that stage. I think many people are interested in bilocation, trilocation if you wish, if you will. But then again, how many are interested in doing the work that gets there and having that knowledge? So let me know if you are interested to having that knowledge and moving 100% in present day modernized living light embodiment, or the body of light that flows with the new tree of light. Not the old tree is dead and gone. The old Hebrew letters, dead and gone. The old, let's say, flower of life, dead and gone. So the new knowledge is far more interesting, of course, because everything is evolution. So in the same way, you can't imagine you having a phone or making phone calls with a phone in your house that is like 20 years old. Do you? I don't think so. Wouldn't last long, right? It would get on your nerves, because you know you don't have the present day apps, so you actually don't have a shortcut in messaging, etc. But then again, why are people still working with the old apps when it comes to light body training, when it comes to getting back into the origin of your original star seed? I mean, to say that's because, you know, it comes through the invisible platforms, and making the invisible platforms visible. That is the age we are living right now, opening the third eye, the fourth eye, the fifth eye, the sixth eye, opening the eternal gates. That is all reinstalled with the installation of living light glandular system, living light nervous system, living light DNA, RNA, and so forth. And that can only be understood when working with it. So clearing out the bone construction, clearing out the water in the body. The water is very important, as it almost makes up like 90% of the body. So it's important that our body merges in with the body of water on the earth, meaning merging. Most people cannot do it and cannot feel the waves that come through lakes, the consciousness, the healing patterns to certain lakes, certain oceans, certain rivers, because you stream in soul consciousness, and that is due to the matrix. When you move beyond it and you purify the body to move in the origin of crystalline light living, crystalline grids that override the matrix, because that pattern has already been set. The difference is within you. You choose living in the matrix that is a death penalty, or living eternally, immortally in the crystalline grids that are above it. So they are rising here, and the matrix tries to reach it. But then again, the living light grids are so huge, they, they are crashing, bringing a death penalty actually to the matrix, because there is nothing to live for in it. It is dead, the foods are dead, the every nutrient, every communication set is completely dead, because there's no wisdom and intelligence left in there. And so it has been held from educational platforms as well. And thus it gets more and more interesting. So purifying the waters goes through different stages in the body. We can, for a week, just connect with a particular, I'm just saying, let's say Lake Louise in Canada, get the turquoise ray through, know which gemstones to connect with, command that consciousness to work with it in certain areas of the body. Many people have swollen lymph nodes and stuff, so that is very dense water in the body, no circulation in the kidneys, making up a huge emotional body and fat cells and all that have nowhere to go. So clearing that out with particular oceans and lakes and all that knowledge takes time to integrate. But once you get there, you get, oh wait, you feel alive, because you start to remember your connections, and even work a lot with all living light chi energies, life forces within the oceans, the mammals, the species, the fish, the plant kingdom, the oxygenation through the plankton, and so much more. Oxygen through the corals, and we need, so there is a reason why we need to repair all that, not only for its beauty and its health, but it's actually for our own health. And so remembering nutrition from the oceans and natural air components, that is coming back wild. So opening the air within takes a lot of clearing through the lungs, through the arteries in the body, the lungs and the arteries working together with the thymus gland, the immune system, opening up in the thyroid where everything got stuck. And so the word, the power of the word that opens up, so you have one portal between body and brain. And that is where most people get the diseases, actually, by living in soul consciousness. The movement from soul into full-time spirit consciousness takes present day light body that is termed the Makiva, and equals out all living light species and all universes, because they have commanded that in, and they remain in the same embodiment. So moving in that Makiva that looks like this, you will have the capacity to move in the Makiva of the earth. It has the same configuration. And with it comes very, very quick healing and purification of the blood circulation. With the blood circulation comes healing of consciousness. With the nervous system, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, they will keep the balance in the neurology of spiritual consciousness within the earth. So the earth meridians that bring through, like for example, the lungs, the lung meridian of the earth needs to match the light lung meridian of our body, and needs to match the celestial and universal meridians of the earth, because we are right between it. So both connections, the earth all up and universal and we in between that, that is what makes up the body of light, moving into new biology. Because from the origin with the original cell that has its own composition, that has the sacred languages, that has the sacred letters. We can encode and re-encode. Actually, I'm a genetic encoder, so I studied for 22 years to get that true, and I have many beautiful results getting the body in the circulation, the air component into eternity, into immortality, moving to all 12 dimensions and in the omni beyond. So there is no such thing as that, that idiotic thing about a black hole. There's only new creational planes that are very high in vibration that we can pertain of. Like also when we can, for example, re-encode with the Elohim, with the Seraphim, with the Ophanim, all the elementals also that are in the higher orders, they can assist us to direct, like, things need to purify in that and that level in order to, let's say if we have a 12 strands DNA, and these strands of DNA, the double helix, needs, like if the origin of creation is a threefold expression, Yod, Vav, He, male, female, in perfect balance with the origin of the Yod. The Yod is all the elements together. Both He's are male, female vibration, and the Vav is the heart composition that opens every spectrum of light within and in the surroundings. So with the threefold expression, we'll leave the twofold expression, which is duality, 0101, which we have in computers, iPhones, and so forth. So I'm very curious about the new creations here, as we are the new scientists on the earth. And if the present day scientists do not want the wisdom, or too stubborn to bring to what needs to be brought to, because of fear, because of limitations, because of so many things I don't want to tap into, because I can't anymore. I can't tap into that negative vibration, so I cannot give thought to it anymore. So that is what comes with it. But here you can understand, once you are at a level like the 2 strands DNA, we're moving out of duality, we move in the threefold expression and the crystalline grids that comes through like triangular grids. If you look up on Google and you look up the Earth grid around Earth, you see triangles. So that is very intricate, because it's the origin of the capstone, opening up within, not on top of the pyramid. You become your own pyramid and open your own capstone with the all-seeing eye that refines and refines and refines. So all the invisible worlds become very crystal clear and visible, and will direct you, assist you, communicate beyond the falseness of communication or the airy-fairy download the channels coming through that has nowhere to go. So let's say that when the 2 strands are opening up into 3 strands and open the triangles from within, that means through light particles going back into the nucleus of the cell, and they will partake that to your breathing system that needs, be set on the eternal immortal breath. And that is all technology involved with it. Then it can go very fast, because you can have assistance in the creation of that new biology, moving with the new biology with the earth, which makes sense, because if you can breathe the nutrients to create that new system in the nucleus of your cell to your feet, and breathing the underground elements too, then the earth needs a bit more purification, which has already happened. And it is just a case of a knowledge. So that's for, the fire, or the fire ladders, just by turning them through, they will bring a lot of changes. The English language is also a spiritual language that brings through codes, that opens up like a golden lotus on top of your brain with the wings of, you know, opening up the wings of power. And the wings of power open up the phoenix rising. So from the removal of the chakra system, I've been talking about this many times in my videos, we move in to the pillars of light that open up the temple of light and up the phoenix rising through multiple dimensions. So after that, it will sound ridiculous, like, you know, that people or scientists on the earth need to go to fly to the moon or fly to Mars or whatever they fancy. If you re-encode your original seed cell, you have access to bilocate and so much more by changing, you know, the old biological model or atom into the new DNA, RNA, fusionary into threefold expression, into a fourfold expression, into a fivefold expression, because some planets, some galaxies, some dimension may need that. Like a giant has a complete different nucleus in the cell than, you know, a little bird on the planet. So, and then your life becomes very, very interesting. So, because once our consciousness is truly encoded into the consciousness of light, then it goes into the higher eye of creation. So, and that is the pyramid that goes to all the alpha omega station, and everything between alpha omega needs to come together, and definitely not an alpha or a delta or whatever state they're blabbering about in meditation. That is pure nonsense. We will not partake of any longer. So here, you know, if you want to move quick and get out of the old parameters, the old real of everything, that is reconnecting with the elements, installing present day light body. That is termed what everybody knows as the I am presence, the I am faculty. The I am presence is the I am that I am, is the origin, the nucleus with the Hebrew letters in the nucleus of the cells. And then the I am presence moves with the I am presence of the earth, with the I am presence of all the masters, and so forth. That is termed the Mekiva. And thus you learn so much only with light languages, and then you start crystallizing the body. So every country on the earth, every plateau on the earth has crystals growing. They are infused with pure divine air components, water components, and other elements. But you can see that air and water are the main components to start working with and purifying yourself out of the matrix into the crystalline light living, because that's going to be the new architecture on this earth plane in order to move in higher evolution. So that means we will be living full-time in the capstone of creation. The capstone that is, you know, that opens many eyes, but also the eye in the back of the brain, you know, so we can see 360 degrees in circumference. So who wouldn't want that? Then again, when you want that, you make sure that you do the work to get there. So to change into the eternal healer, the I am present day presence, and learning how to start to crystallize the body, heal yourself out, be a healer, be whatever you want to do, because you can initiate that in the crystalline grid. So with it comes the education with all, you see, you many know that I wear crystals all of the time, and they have a huge goal. They have an assignment with me, and I talk to them, and that is what they will perform. So, you know, open up the original life forces from within, get to know yourself a lot better, and then start working with it. Fire, water, earth, air, and every element that comes in between. But having these in 100% balance is quite a job already. So many questions can be answered quite quickly and easily. Are you in balance? Most people are not, or totally, completely out of balance due to the density, due to synthetics, and well, we can all move out of it quite quickly. So just there is a free webinar here for the retreat. You don't even have to subscribe. I mean, I don't jump into that stuff anymore. You can teach my retreat to other people. You can become an eternal healer, and you can open up many, many, many artistic skills, because we are all artists. So, and then again, you will learn so much. It's a culmination of everything I brought together over 22 years. So that's quite a lot. And just have a look. Thank you so much for being with me. And thank you also for subscribing and showing your interest. Thank you. I'm SharlotChi. Thank you.